Welcome to Just Listen Books channel. Immerse yourself in the world of literature as we summarize books and deliver them in audio form. Perfect for your car rides, travels, and daily activities. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, a counterintuitive approach to living a good life. By Mark Manson is a self-help book that challenges conventional wisdom about what it means to be happy and lead a fulfilling life. The book emphasizes the importance of understanding and accepting the limitations and hardships of life, arguing that struggling and facing challenges are inevitable parts of being human. Chapter 1. The Not Giving a Fuck Philosophy. Mark Manson's Not Giving a Fuck philosophy, as presented in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, is a central tenet of the book that encourages readers to critically evaluate what truly deserves their attention, energy, and emotional investment. This philosophy is rooted in the understanding that our capacity for concern and care is finite. Therefore, we must be discerning about where we direct these limited resources. Key aspects of the philosophy. Finite resources. Manson posits that each person has only so much energy, time, and emotional bandwidth. Recognizing this limitation is crucial to understanding why we can't afford to care about everything equally. Selective investment. Given our limited capacity, Manson advocates for a selective investment of our cares. This means prioritizing what's truly important and meaningful to us, and letting go of trivial concerns and expectations imposed by others or society at large. Value-driven choices. The philosophy emphasizes making choices based on personal values. By identifying what values are most important to us, we can more easily determine where to invest our limited fix. This aligns our actions and concerns with our deepest convictions and priorities. Embracing unconventionality. Part of not giving a fuck involves challenging societal norms and expectations. Manson encourages readers to embrace their individuality and make choices that might go against the grain if those choices resonate more closely with their personal values and desires. Accepting negativity. Manson argues that negative experiences and emotions are part of life, and that attempting to avoid or deny them is futile. By accepting and even embracing the negative, we can reduce the unnecessary suffering that comes from resisting it. The backward law. Manson references Alan Watts's concept of the backward law, which suggests that the more we pursue feeling better all the time, the less satisfied we become, as pursuing something only reinforces the fact that we lack it. The philosophy of not giving a fuck aligns with this by suggesting that by not striving for constant positivity, we may paradoxically achieve a more grounded and authentic form of happiness. Implementation. Implementing this philosophy involves a few practical steps. Self-reflection. Regularly assess what you're currently giving a fuck about. Is it aligned with your true values and priorities, or is it driven by external pressures and expectations? Setting boundaries. Learn to say no to things that don't align with your values or that drain your energy unnecessarily. This includes declining invitations, stepping back from unfulfilling obligations, and distancing yourself from negative influences. Mindful focus. Concentrate your energy and attention on a smaller number of commitments and relationships that you truly care about. This focused approach can lead to deeper satisfaction and fulfillment. Emotional detachment. Practice detaching from the outcome of situations that are beyond your control. This helps in reducing unnecessary stress and anxiety over things you cannot change. Manson's philosophy is a call to actively curate our emotional and mental landscape, ensuring that we're truly invested in what matters most to us, thereby leading a more purposeful and fulfilling life. Chapter 2. Values and Metrics. In The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Mark Manson delves into the concept of values and metrics, illustrating how the quality of our lives is intrinsically linked to the values we hold dear and the standards by which we gauge our achievements. He emphasizes the critical nature of selecting values that are grounded in reality, beneficial to society, and within our control. This framework is crucial for leading a life that is not only fulfilling, but also resilient in the face of challenges. Understanding values. Reality-based. Values should be founded on what is real and tangible, rather than on idealistic or overly optimistic views that may not hold up under scrutiny or adversity. Reality-based values encourage us to deal with the world as it is, not as we wish it to be. Socially constructive. Values ought to contribute positively to society and the well-being of others. By adopting values that enhance the lives of those around us, we create a supportive and enriched community, which in turn reinforces our own sense of purpose and fulfillment. Immediate and controllable. Effective values are those that can be acted upon in the present moment and are within our control. Focusing on values that depend on external circumstances or other people's actions can lead to frustration and a sense of powerlessness. Importance of metrics. Manson argues that the metrics, i.e. the standards or benchmarks, we use to measure our success in living up to our values are equally important. These metrics can either reinforce our commitment to healthy values or undermine them, depending on how aligned they are with what's truly important. Quantifiable versus qualitative metrics. Quantifiable metrics are easily measured and can provide clear benchmarks for success. However, Manson suggests that qualitative metrics, which are more about the quality of experience or impact, can often be more meaningful. Internal versus external metrics. Internal metrics are based on personal standards and intrinsic motivation, while external metrics depend on external validation or comparison with others. Manson advocates for a focus on internal metrics to foster a sense of personal achievement and self-worth that isn't reliant on external approval. Adopting good values and metrics. 1. Self-reflection. Regular introspection can help us identify our core values and examine the metrics by which we're measuring our lives. This process allows us to realign our priorities with what's genuinely important. 2. Goal setting. By setting goals that reflect our values and using metrics that are within our control, we can create a roadmap for a meaningful life. These goals should be specific, achievable, and tied to our deeper values. 3. Feedback and adaptation. Being open to feedback and willing to adjust our values and metrics as we grow and learn is crucial. Life experiences and challenges can shift our perspective, necessitating a reevaluation of what we value and how we measure success. 4. Community and relationships. Surrounding ourselves with people who share or respect our values can reinforce them and provide a supportive environment for pursuing our goals. Relationships can serve as a mirror, reflecting back the validity and impact of our chosen values and metrics. Manson's discussion of values and metrics underscores the dynamic interplay between what we deem important and how we assess our progress toward those ideals. By carefully choosing and cultivating values that are grounded, positive, and within our influence, and by adopting meaningful metrics, we can navigate life's complexities with a greater sense of purpose and satisfaction. Chapter 3. Choosing struggle. In The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Mark Manson presents the idea that choosing our struggles is integral to finding happiness and meaning in life. He challenges the common pursuit of a struggle-free existence, arguing instead that happiness results from engaging in and overcoming challenges that we find worthwhile. This perspective shifts the focus from avoiding problems to embracing them as opportunities for growth and fulfillment. The nature of struggle. Inevitability of problems. Manson asserts that problems are an unavoidable aspect of life. Rather than seeking to eliminate all struggles, which is futile, we should accept that life is about solving problems. Quality of problems. The quality of our lives is determined not by the absence of problems, but by the types of problems we are willing to tackle. Engaging with better, more meaningful problems leads to a more fulfilling existence. Choosing meaningful struggles. Personal values. The struggles we choose should align with our core values. When we engage with problems that resonate with what we deeply care about, the process of addressing these issues becomes inherently rewarding. Passion and enjoyment. Manson suggests that true passion is found in the process of working through difficulties that we find engaging. It's not about the absence of struggle, but about the enjoyment and satisfaction derived from engaging with challenges. Growth and improvement. The struggles worth choosing are those that push us to grow and improve. By overcoming obstacles, we develop resilience, skills, and wisdom that contribute to our overall well-being. The role of responsibility. Taking responsibility. Manson emphasizes the importance of taking responsibility for our problems. This doesn't mean blaming ourselves for everything, but rather accepting our power to respond to and address the challenges we face. Control and influence. Focusing on struggles within our control or influence empowers us to make meaningful changes. This proactive stance contrasts with a passive approach, where one feels victimized by circumstances. The paradox of happiness. Happiness through solving problems. Manson posits that happiness is a byproduct of solving problems, not a state to be achieved in the absence of problems. This reframes the pursuit of happiness as an active engagement with life's challenges. The pursuit of negative experiences. Interestingly, Manson suggests that the pursuit of positive experiences can be counterproductive. Instead, willingly engaging in negative experiences that are meaningful and aligned with our values can lead to a deeper sense of satisfaction. Implementing the philosophy. Mindset. Shift. Embrace the mindset that struggles are not to be avoided, but chosen based on their significance and alignment with personal values. Engagement. Actively engage with chosen struggles, understanding that the process itself is where fulfillment lies, rather than in the outcome. Reflection. Regularly reflect on the struggles you're engaged with. Are they still meaningful? Do they align with your values? Are they contributing to your growth? Balance. While embracing struggles is important, it's also crucial to maintain balance and not overwhelm oneself with challenges beyond one's capacity to handle. Manson's approach to choosing struggles emphasizes the active role we play in shaping our lives. By consciously selecting the challenges we engage with, based on their alignment with our values and potential for growth, we can find greater meaning and satisfaction in the journey of life, rather than in any particular destination. Chapter 4. The Importance of Saying No. In The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Mark Manson highlights the importance of saying no as a crucial aspect of living a life aligned with one's true values and priorities. The ability to say no is not just about rejecting unwanted requests or invitations. It's a broader principle that involves setting clear boundaries, making conscious choices, and staying true to oneself. This principle is integral to conserving our limited resources of time, energy, and attention for the things that truly matter. Setting boundaries. Personal limits. Saying no is fundamentally about recognizing and respecting your personal limits. It involves understanding your capacity and refusing to overextend yourself, which can lead to burnout and resentment. Protecting values. Boundaries. Protect your core values by preventing external demands or pressures from compromising what you hold most important. Clear boundaries enable you to prioritize these values in your decision-making. Making conscious choices. Selective engagement. By saying no to things that are less important, irrelevant, or not in alignment with your values, you free up space and energy to say yes to what truly matters. This selective engagement ensures that your actions and commitments reflect your true priorities. Opportunity. Cost. Every yes is a no to something else. Understanding the concept of opportunity cost is crucial. Saying yes to everything can mean not having the time, energy, or resources for the things that are genuinely important. Authenticity and integrity. Honesty with oneself. Saying no requires being honest with yourself about what you truly want and value, rather than succumbing to external expectations or the desire to please others. This self-honesty is the foundation of living authentically. Consistency and reliability. When you say no to commitments you can't or don't want to fulfill, you maintain your integrity and reliability. Overcommitting can lead to broken promises and diminished trust. The challenges of saying no. Fear of missing out, FOMO. The worry that saying no will lead to missed opportunities can make it difficult to decline. However, Manson argues that embracing FOMO for the sake of what's truly valued is a more fulfilling approach. Social pressure. The desire to conform or please others can make saying no challenging. It requires the courage to stand by your values even when they go against the grain. Practical steps for saying no. 1. Reflect on values. Regularly assess what is most important to you. Clarity about your values makes it easier to decide what deserves a yes and what warrants a no. 2. Communicate clearly. When saying no, be clear and direct, but also respectful. You don't need to offer extensive explanations. A simple and firm no is often enough. 3. Practice. Like any skill, saying no becomes easier with practice. Start with small refusals and work your way up to more significant boundaries. 4. Seek support. Surround yourself with people who respect your boundaries and support your right to say no. This support system can reinforce your resolve and provide models for setting healthy boundaries. Manson's emphasis on the importance of saying no is a call to embrace the power of choice and to take active control over one's life. By thoughtfully setting boundaries and being selective in our commitments, we can lead lives that are not only more manageable and less stressful, but also more aligned with our deepest values and aspirations. Chapter 5. The Feedback Loop from Hell. Mark Manson introduces the concept of the feedback loop from hell in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck to describe a self-perpetuating cycle of negativity that can ensnare individuals in a state of constant dissatisfaction and distress. This loop begins when we respond to negative experiences or emotions with further negative judgment, which only amplifies the initial negativity, creating a downward spiral. Characteristics of the feedback loop. Initial negative experience. The loop starts with a negative event or emotion, such as failure, rejection, or anxiety. Negative reaction to negativity. Instead of accepting the initial negative experience, there's a secondary negative reaction to it, such as feeling bad about feeling bad. This reaction adds another layer of negativity to the experience. Self-perpetuating cycle. The secondary negative reaction can lead to further self-criticism or negative emotions, creating a loop where negativity begets more negativity. Magnification of problems. As the loop continues, it can magnify minor issues into seemingly insurmountable problems, leading to overwhelming stress, anxiety, and despair. Breaking the cycle. Manson suggests several strategies for breaking free from the feedback loop from hell. 1. Acceptance of negative emotions. Recognizing that negative emotions are a natural and unavoidable part of the human experience can help diminish the secondary layer of negativity. Acceptance allows us to face these emotions without additional judgment or resistance. 2. Mindfulness and awareness. Practicing mindfulness can help us become more aware of when we're entering a feedback loop. By observing our thoughts and emotions without attachment, we can gain perspective and halt the cycle. 3. Reframing. Perspectives. Changing the way we interpret negative experiences can alter our emotional response to them. Viewing challenges as opportunities for growth, for instance, can transform a negative experience into a valuable learning moment. 4. Self-compassion. Treating oneself with kindness and understanding in the face of failure or disappointment can counteract the tendency to respond negatively to negative emotions. Self-compassion encourages a healthier and more constructive engagement with our flaws and setbacks. 5. Value-driven action. Focusing on actions and goals aligned with one's core values can provide a sense of purpose and direction, reducing the impact of negative experiences by placing them in the context of a larger, meaningful pursuit. The role of values. Manson emphasizes the importance of values in dealing with the feedback loop from hell. By choosing values that are within our control and constructive, we can reduce the likelihood of encountering situations that trigger the feedback loop. For example, valuing honesty and communication can lead to more authentic and less stressful interactions. whereas valuing always being right can lead to frequent frustration and negativity. Conclusion. The feedback loop from hell is a powerful concept that highlights how our reactions to negative experiences can exacerbate our distress. Manson's advice to accept negative emotions, practice mindfulness, embrace self-compassion, and focus on constructive values offers a roadmap out of this cycle. By applying these principles, we can learn to navigate life's challenges with greater resilience and equanimity, breaking free from the self-imposed prison of perpetual negativity. Chapter 6. The Do-Something Principle. Mark Manson's The Do-Something Principle is a central idea in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck that challenges conventional wisdom about motivation and action. Instead of waiting for motivation to strike before taking action, Manson proposes that action itself can be the catalyst for motivation and further action, creating a positive cycle that counteracts fear, anxiety, and procrastination. Reversing the motivation formula. Traditional view. The conventional approach to motivation suggests that one must first feel motivated in order to take action. This perspective can lead to a passive stance, where individuals wait for inspiration or the right mood before doing something. The Do-Something Principle. Manson reverses this formula, arguing that action precedes motivation. By simply starting to do something, even if it's a small or seemingly insignificant step, we can generate the momentum needed to fuel further action and, subsequently, motivation. Overcoming procrastination. Small steps. One of the key strategies for applying the Do-Something principle is to break down overwhelming tasks into smaller, more manageable actions. This reduces the mental barrier to starting and can quickly lead to a sense of accomplishment. Feedback. Loops. Taking action provides immediate feedback, which is essential for learning and adjusting our approach. This feedback can be motivating in itself, as it shows progress and helps clarify the next steps. Addressing fear and anxiety. Action as a distractor. Engaging in action can serve as a constructive distraction from fear and anxiety. Instead of ruminating on what might go wrong, taking action redirects focus towards what can be done right now. Building confidence. Each action taken, no matter how small, builds a track record of success and competence. This accumulation of small victories can bolster self-confidence and reduce fear over time. The role of values. Value-driven actions. Manson emphasizes the importance of aligning actions with personal values. When actions are consistent with what we truly care about, they are more meaningful and motivating. This alignment ensures that the motivation generated by action is not just about doing something, but about moving closer to our ideals and goals. Practical application. 1. Just start. The first step is to simply begin, without overthinking or waiting for the perfect moment. The act of starting can shift your mental state and open up new possibilities. 2. Iterative process. Approach tasks as an iterative process where action leads to feedback, which then informs further action. This continuous loop facilitates learning and improvement. 3. Celebrate small wins. Recognize and celebrate each step taken, no matter how small. Acknowledging progress helps sustain motivation and reinforces the value of action. 4. Reassess and adjust. Use the feedback from your actions to reassess your approach and make necessary adjustments. This flexibility can help maintain momentum even when faced with obstacles. Manson's Do-Something principle is a powerful antidote to inertia, fear, and procrastination. It underscores the fact that motivation is not a prerequisite for action, but a result of it. By embracing this principle, individuals can break free from passive waiting and move towards active engagement with their goals and values, fostering a more dynamic and fulfilling approach to life. Chapter 7. The Importance of Commitment. In The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, Mark Manson explores the importance of commitment as a vital principle for leading a fulfilling life. In a modern world saturated with endless choices and opportunities, Manson argues that the true path to satisfaction lies not in pursuing more options, but in deepening our commitment to fewer, carefully chosen pursuits and relationships. Paradox of choice. Overwhelm and dissatisfaction. The abundance of choices in various aspects of life, from career paths to relationships, can lead to overwhelm and a paradoxical sense of dissatisfaction. The more options we have, the more we fear making the wrong choice, leading to decision paralysis or constant second-guessing of our commitments. Missed depth and fulfillment. Constantly seeking new options can prevent us from experiencing the depth and fulfillment that come from deep engagement with a chosen few. True mastery, understanding, and intimacy grow over time and require sustained effort and attention. The value of commitment. Focus and mastery. Committing to a limited number of pursuits allows for a deeper focus, which is essential for achieving mastery and excellence. By dedicating our time and energy to fewer endeavors, we can develop a level of skill and insight that is unattainable when our attention is scattered. Meaningful relationships. Similarly, committing deeply to a few meaningful relationships can lead to a level of intimacy and connection that is impossible to achieve when constantly seeking new social engagements or romantic partners. Deep, committed relationships provide support, understanding, and a sense of belonging. Reduced regret. By making deliberate choices about where to invest our time and energy and sticking with those choices, we reduce the likelihood of regret related to constantly wondering about the what-ifs associated with unexplored alternatives. Strategies for commitment. 1. Clarify values and priorities. Understanding what is truly important to us helps in making informed commitments that are aligned with our core values and long-term goals. 2. Embrace the hell yes or no principle. Manson suggests that we should commit to something only if we feel a strong, enthusiastic hell yes about it. If our response is anything less, it's a no. This principle ensures that our commitments are driven by genuine passion and interest. 3. Set boundaries. Establishing clear boundaries around our commitments protects them from being diluted by external demands or distractions. Boundaries help maintain focus and ensure that our energy is concentrated on what we've chosen to prioritize. 4. Cultivate perseverance and grit. Commitment requires the ability to persevere in the face of challenges and setbacks. Developing grit and resilience is crucial for sustaining commitments over the long term. 5. Practice mindful decision-making. Making mindful, deliberate decisions about our commitments involves weighing options carefully, considering long-term implications, and being willing to say no to opportunities that don't align with our chosen paths. Manson's discussion on the importance of commitment highlights how a more focused, deliberate approach to choosing and maintaining our engagements and relationships can lead to greater satisfaction, achievement, and depth in life. In a world that often celebrates the superficial allure of more, Manson champions the profound, lasting joy of deeply committing to less. Chapter 8. The Concept of Death. Mark Manson introduces the concept of death in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck as a powerful lens through which to view our priorities and decisions. He argues that the awareness of our mortality, far from being morbid or depressing, can be a clarifying force, helping us to identify what is genuinely important in our lives and stripping away the superficial concerns that often occupy our attention. Mortality as a motivator. Finite time. Recognizing that our time is limited compels us to consider how we want to spend that time. This realization can shift our focus from trivial pursuits to activities, relationships, and causes that are truly meaningful to us. Legacy and impact. The awareness of death can prompt us to think about the legacy we wish to leave behind. This can involve reflecting on the impact we want to have on others and the world, guiding us toward more purposeful actions. Prioritization of values. Clarification of values. The contemplation of mortality can help clarify our values by highlighting the contrast between what is transient and what has lasting significance. When faced with the reality of our finite existence, the importance of values like love, kindness, and contribution to others becomes more apparent. Reduction of superficial concerns. Awareness of death can reduce the weight we give to societal expectations, material possessions, and superficial markers of success. This perspective helps us to focus on what truly enriches our lives and the lives of those around us. Living fully. Urgency and appreciation. The concept of death imbues life with a sense of urgency and appreciation. Knowing that our time is limited can inspire us to live more fully, to savor experiences, and to cherish our connections with others. Overcoming fear. The acknowledgement of mortality can also help us confront and overcome our fears. When we realize that death is the ultimate end, fears of failure, rejection, or embarrassment seem less significant, freeing us to take risks and embrace opportunities for growth. Practical implications. 1. Reflection and meditation. Regular reflection on mortality, such as through meditation or journaling, can help maintain an acute awareness of life's finitude, keeping our priorities in check. 2. Life review. Periodically conducting a life review can be a useful exercise. This involves evaluating whether your current lifestyle, activities, and relationships align with your deepest values and the legacy you wish to create. 3. Decision-making. Use the awareness of life's finitude as a criterion in decision-making processes. Ask yourself whether the decision will matter in the grand scheme of your life and after you're gone. 4. Cultivate meaningful relationships. Invest time and energy in deepening relationships that are meaningful to you, recognizing that these connections are among the most valuable aspects of life. Manson's integration of the concept of death into his philosophy is not meant to be morbid, but rather liberating. It serves as a stark reminder to focus on what truly matters, to let go of trivial concerns, and to live our lives with purpose and intention. By keeping the reality of our mortality in mind, we can navigate life with greater clarity, making choices that reflect our true values and contribute to a fulfilling existence. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Your support means the world to us. Click subscribe and hit the bell to be the first to enjoy our upcoming audiobooks. Together, let's continue this amazing journey through stories and tales.